Hi, I'd like to welcome you to Impacting Leaders e-training and thank you for joining us for today's supervisory course, Getting Things Done versus Getting Things Done Through Others. Your instructor for this course is Linda Sasser, CEO of Impacting Leaders. Linda teaches that when we insist on being the one who makes things happen, we add to the business's growth. However, when we work with and through others, we multiply that business's growth and the number of people who are able to make a direct impact on the success of that business. So let's get started on learning how to get things done through others.
Hello everybody, my name is Linda Sasser and I'm excited about our topic today because it talks about something we all want to have happen. We want to make things happen for our company. We want to make things happen for our own career, right? But as a leader, what we must pay attention to is how are we getting things done through others? Not in a way where we're using others, but in a way that we're helping them perform better. Because as leaders, it's our job to continue to perform and produce the way that we need to. And then we're also responsible to make sure other people are performing and producing at their best. A true sign of a leader is really how we can engage other people to perform as good or hopefully even better than us. So today, we're going to talk about beliefs that we need to have in our mind as we become a leader of other people. You know, there's some things that we have to purge out of our mindset. There's some misbeliefs that we really need to get rid of. You know, there's a lot of different philosophies out there about leadership and what makes a good boss or a leader. Some of them just aren't factual. And so today we're really going to dive in and look at some of those. Let's take a look at mindsets we need to purge from our thinking, from our belief system, and compare that with mindsets that we need to adopt as a leader. Okay, first, mindsets that we need to purge. The belief that you're the only one who can do it right. Now, that's kind of funny to say, isn't it? Because at some point and at some level, I think we all think that. It's kind of like a parent. You know, I think I can tie my kids' shoes faster than they could, and so I would just do it. But yet over time, my kid would never learn how to tie their shoes if I wasn't okay with maybe things being done just perfect. So first of all, we have to realize maybe you are the best one at that particular thing, but other people can get there. It's our responsibility as leaders to teach, guide, train, and coach them to that level of performance. So let's adopt a mindset that thinks, you know what, I need to make it safe for employees to learn with me. I want to grow them. I want to be their teacher and I want to be their mentor. Find satisfaction and reward in helping other people get better than you. Now that may be an oxymoron. That may be something you never thought, good Lord, I've got to be the best. If I'm not the best, then I'm not the leader. Oh, no. It's totally opposite. If you make people better, you're the obvious leader. Another mindset that we need to get rid of is, it's just quicker if I do it myself. And what we need to adopt is the thought that, it might be quicker today, but a week from now it won't be because you're still doing it and you're the only one that can do it. Imagine a month. Imagine 6 months. What if you continued to do things because you're faster a year down the road? Scary thing is no one is going to get better underneath your guidance. Scarier thing is you're not going to get better. You're still going to be the only person who can do your task, meaning you'll have to stay in that seat or in that position for a long period of time. So you're stunting your own growth. Another mindset to purge. Hey, I'm the boss. I tell others what to do. Bosses do tell others what to do, I guess. I'm not so sure we're wanting to be a boss, are we? We want to be leaders. And so a mindset to adopt is that I'm a leader and I teach people what to do. I help them figure out the what and the why and the how to get better. Perfection demanded. I've been in environments where perfection was demanded. Frankly, I was guilty sometimes of maybe expecting perfection. And it's not that perfection is something that we don't want to strive to achieve. Of course we do. We don't want mediocre. However, perfection, when it's demanded, probably won't ever be obtained. Instead, we want to adopt a mindset that perfection can be achieved. Let's figure out how to get there, and then let's inspire people to get there, not demand it. It seems as if the things we demand are the things we never get out of others. But if we motivate and inspire and excite people and then teach them how, then they want perfection to happen, and they'll strive for perfection just as much as you will. Let's start purging the mindset of not tolerating mistakes from others. This is another difficult one, especially for our perfectionists, especially for our aggressive, goal-attaining type of people that we all are as leaders. Now, hear me clear. I don't like mistakes no more than you do. However, we need to understand that mistakes are really an opportunity for improvement. So let's treat mistakes acceptable only if we can learn from them. Now, this moment is up to us as leaders, because people will make mistakes. And of course, we need to correct them and perhaps reteach. But in doing so, there's got to be a learning opportunity. And I would just flat out ask my people, okay, we've made this mistake. We've got to fix it first. And then I want to stop and reflect so that we learn from this. Perhaps we learn why the mistake was made. Perhaps we create a different process that will help the mistake not to be made again. Or perhaps as a leader, I failed to really properly coach you or teach you how to do it correctly. So let's make sure that we create a safe enough environment to where mistakes are okay as long as it's a learning opportunity. Now, the same mistake made over and over and over, I'm not talking about those mistakes. Obviously, there's a situation in which discipline probably needs to happen if the same mistake keeps happening over and over and over. But what I am saying is expect some mistakes and expect some things not to be perfect. As long as you use them as learning moments to get better, then we're fine. Another mindset to purge is how much I do determines my worth. You know, in the old world and perhaps your old position, that's true. The harder we work, maybe the longer hours we worked, maybe the more we performed, but all the things that we did and that we do as a doer and as a producer, that determined our worth. Now, as a leader, you cannot grade yourselves the same way. Again, how well is your team doing? How well are you performing and growing other people? Leading is about others. And so our scorecard becomes different. It's not about our doer ability so much. It's about our leader ability. I love to achieve goals. Now that kind of surprises you, doesn't it, that I even put that on there as something that we should purge. Here's actually what I want us to do. I want us to adopt a mindset that says, I love seeing my team achieve goals. You know, there was a time in my career, I worked for a company that had a great recognition program. And as a producer and as a doer, I got recognized quite a bit. In fact, it was a really cool recognition. We got to walk up on stage and we got to take pictures and receive an award in front of a lot of people. So it was exciting. And I wanted that award again the next year and the next year. And then something happened to me in my career, and I started learning the magic and the fulfillment of seeing others do so well underneath my leadership. All of a sudden, it wasn't very fulfilling for me to walk up on that stage anymore. The moment I felt that was the moment that I realized, this feels good, that I don't want that spotlight on me anymore. I want that spotlight to be pointed over to my team because that's who pulled this off. I was just blessed to be able to be a part of their team and to be a leader of the team. Hopefully you've experienced that. Hopefully you've experienced the fulfillment of that. And the moment that happened and I started turning the spotlight and let my team walk to accept the award, that was fulfilling while I stayed in the seat cheering them on. That's the mindset we need to adopt is, of course, we want to achieve goals and make things happen. But boy, when other people do it on your behalf and under your leadership, that's a true level of fulfillment. And that's when you know you've arrived as a leader because you're caring so much about the performance and getting things done through others. Now let's really dive in and look at 3 tips that we'd like to present to you today on how to get things done through others. Number 1, value people. This may sound old-fashioned, but it's not. The best leaders value other people, especially the people we supervise. They need to know that we're for them. So treat them with respect. Be professional and develop a professional relationship, so that they understand that you're for them as a person too, not just as a worker, as a tool to hit your goals. Teach them and help them get better. When a person gets better underneath your guidance, there's a connection that will happen, and they'll want to work harder for you because of what you did for them. Work alongside your teammates. That I should put this as the first thing. When you roll up your sleeve and work right alongside someone else, it shows your humility, that even as a leader, you don't have to do that, but you're willing to do that. It shows that their job is important, so important that you're going to take up valuable minutes of your day and actually work with them. Number 2, connect with people. You know what? Let's give people a reason to come into work, and let's us be the reason. Wouldn't that be nice? That people are looking forward to going to work because of you. They desire to show up and perform because of you. I think it's because you see them as more than just a person who's going to produce. So understand your people, get to know your people, have a healthy relationship with others, a relationship that's professional. Let them know that you're for them. And you can do this in a variety of ways. Sometimes it's just listening. And sometimes it's just, good morning, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for being here. It's going to be a great day. I'll see you later. Just communicating with people and treating others with respect. Think about this. What if everyone who came to work underneath your leadership was a volunteer and you needed them to show up on time every day? What would you do different to make sure they came back and produced every day for you? And it couldn't be money or pay because they're volunteering their time. Write down or think about 3 things that you would know that you would need to do to keep your volunteers coming back. Whatever those 3 things are, I bet they're the same things that we should be doing every day, even though we're paying people. Tip number 3, be accessible to people. Not only be accessible, be approachable. Perhaps it means you need to walk around the floor. Make it comfortable for people to come up to you. And to be comfortable to come up to you, maybe we should put a smile on our face. Maybe we should not look grumpy, not looking mad or irritable, even when things aren't going right. Remember, if things aren't going right, it's not that person's fault. So greet them with a smile. Keep your arms open and make yourself look approachable. And say hello to people. Walk the floor so they can find you. And then when they do, stop and talk to you. Make sure that you greet them. Now, I realize there's not a lot of time in the day, and I realize a 5-minute conversation may be too long a conversation to have when your people need to be producing. But that's okay to be able to say, thank you so much for coming up and explaining that to me. Let's get back to work, and I'm going to remember what you told me, and I'll take note of it. People just want to know that you're listening and that you've heard them. So let me wrap up this subject with one last question. Let's think about this. Let's say that all the employees your company had today, or your department, or your line or area, all the team members that you have today are the only teammates you'll ever get to have. And you needed to retain them. Think about how you would treat them. But not only treat them, if those were the only employees that you could ever have, you've got to grow them and make them better, because that's the only way your organization or your department could increase their goals and get better. How would you develop them? What would your mindset be? What mindsets do you have to purge? And which ones do you need to adopt? so that not only are you attracting people to your company, but you're retaining them and keeping them. I hope you find as much joy in getting things done through others as you've probably had in getting things done on your own. Getting things done and being a high achiever is exciting. But I can assure you, if you've had the opportunity to lead and make others better at what they do, you are far more fulfilled than you were as a doer and a producer. So thank you, first of all, for pouring into other people and making other people better. Because when you've made them better, they're happier and they're more fulfilled in life and in working for you and in working for your company.